Coming up on Basin Life, a group of dancers have been bringing the beauty of ballet to the Basin since 1993. Find out why this beautiful art form is more than turns and pliés. To be or not to be? Well, to be is the answer, of course, as this week's Heart of the Basin shares why she's bringing Shakespeare to West Texas. And of course, we are looking for the good, as we do each and every day. I'm Krista Escamilla, and this is Basin Life. Joining us today is Susan Clark. She is the artistic director with Midland Festival Ballet. Susan, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
The arts are so important to our lives, and I think this past 18 months has shown us that more than ever. Tell us a little bit about what the arts means to you.
The arts has been my whole life. I danced when I was little, decided to be a professional dancer when I was like 11, and so I went away to school, and to me, the world without arts, there wouldn't be a world. So
I could not agree more.
I'm not a very techie person. I don't like quick oatmeal. I like to see it. I'd rather go see live theater than be in a movie. So.
It brings out emotions in you that it's hard to explain really until you've actually sat in that theater seat and watched someone on stage performing a beautiful ballet or performing in the Nutcracker. How did you get involved with Midland Festival Ballet?
I'm originally from Midland, and I was with Permian Civic Ballet, and at that time they brought in guest artists. I went away and danced professionally for 30 years, and it was time to come back to Midland. My parents still live here or lived here. My mom still does. And I knew Judy Coleman from Ballet Midland.
Legend here in West Texas.
And so when I was coming back, that is who I knew I would want to teach for. And so I just had my first child and was kind of trying to not teach so much. And anyway, make a long story short.
Judy reeled you in and said, "You're teaching."
and then it just became more and more and more. And when it was said that she passed last March, was big tribute. She had put a great foundation in, and we kind of just have been going from there. Then Wagner, and it's been a great journey for me. And I, even after all these years, I really. Probably my favorite part is trying to pass on my passion to my students.
And you're doing that so beautifully. You see a little girl in a tutu or putting on her ballet slippers, and their faces light up. If you had to describe ballet to someone that maybe has never seen a live production, how would you describe it to them?
I would hope that the music and the lights and the dance, that they would feel an emotion inside themselves that I think doesn't come across real well on film. And to me, a lot about it's all that coming together, and it can be a happy emotion, it can be a sad emotion, it can be angry, but I think if it depicts the music, I think it's more like a breath, a breathing to me. And I've always liked the ballet element. I just think it's beautiful the way it is. I like all forms of dance, but there's something to me that's very special about also the years that it takes to train to be able to do it. And I think even learning it, even if you don't want to go that route, I think you learn so much about yourself. And when I'm teaching at Midland Festival Ballet, it's very important to me to teach lifelong lessons. Hopefully they'll get the discipline, and they'll carry the passion on from that to whatever they decide their job and they want to be.
Right. It truly is more than just chaîné turns and pliés and tourgetés, and it's a lot more than that. It's about really developing the child and with these skills that will take them the rest of their life and giving them that self-esteem.
There's a lot of traditions in ballet that, in our society now, we still have a lot of respect, a lot of what is said in the room, and how the room is conducted and standing still. And I think we're losing some of that. So I think it's really nice to have a place that you're taught that.
Right.
And I actually think it makes children feel safer. Like, I want them to feel very safe when they're in the studio, like it's a safe place. I sometimes say, kind of like, if you feel safe when you go to church, you should feel safe when you come into this room and be able to express yourself through movement.
What advice would you give to a parent that maybe has seen the Nutcracker, which is so wonderful that y'all did this year, reimagined and brought to life right here on Basin PBS? It was so beautiful.
Thank you for that.
What would you say to someone that wants to get their child started in ballet? How would they begin, besides getting that pink leotard?
I think it's very important to maybe read a few books about it first.
Okay.
Maybe put some music on, let them I think it's fun to say, oh, if you were a horse, how would you move? And kind of introduce it with creative movement.
Oh, I love
even
that.
At home,
Yes.
I think is, I loved, when I was younger and, all the musicals, and I'd put on that music and have to move the furniture and put them on. And I think that kind of develops without the structure. I really feel like our school between 3 to 4, it's more like a creative movement, learning how to take instruction. And then at 5, then it gets a little bit more, the syllabus starts. And obviously, I think they have to go see it to really, really like it. Nutcracker, because it has so many children, is a really, I would say when they're really young, probably the first act is probably long enough for them,
Yes.
You want to keep it probably short intervals so
Right.
that they can really, really like it. But I do think I really like the idea of creative movement. And I think it's, unfortunately right now, you can't take them to go see it.
And that's what we need. We need them to perform again, because I know that brings such joy. If someone wanted more information, what is your website and how people could find out how to join the ballet?
You can go to our website, midlandfestivalballet.org, and we try to keep it as updated as possible. And some things are starting to happen again, which
Yay.
is great. And we have we're planning quite a few more summer camps and princess camps, because a lot of that we haven't really focused in on doing, because I thought it was easier to have older children wear masks than younger, so I've kind of put that on hold. So we're going to try to make a big push this summer and try to get that back going and make up for where I didn't think was a good idea to do it.
Well, I hope your dancers can get back out on that stage where they belong and where they love to be. And as we close out, if you could just describe what dance means to you in one word, just one word, what would that be?
I would say passion.
I love that. Thank you for sharing your passion with us today. Susan Clark, the Artistic Director of Midland Festival Ballet. Thank you so much for pouring into the youth in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's another great quote to live by. In today's Heart of the Basin, one thespian is sharing her gift for classic theater to audiences right here in West Texas.
Hi, I'm Laura Metzger-Bond, and I'm the Executive Director of Midland Classic Theater Group. Midland Classic Theater Group was created to bring classic theater to Midland and the Permian Basin. What we do is we produce Shakespeare in the Park experiences. We focus in the spring on a thing called Shakespeare's Birthday Bash, where we promote Shakespeare to students who may be studying it in high school or junior high, and give them an opportunity to see it come off the page and into reality, so that it might help them understand the bard just a little bit better. In addition, in the summer, we produce Shakespeare in the Park, which is a super exciting production. We partner with the Museum of the Southwest, and we produce a 30-minute adaptation of the Folger Shakespeare Library productions, such as A Midsummer Night's Dream. This summer, we'll be producing A Taming of the Shrew, and we like to put it in different time periods so that it appeals to a broader audience. They don't just see us as the Renaissance period or the Elizabethan period, but they can see that story come alive in the 50s or in the Wild West or in Greek-Roman times. We do produce a lot of Shakespeare simply because we are trying to educate Midland, Odessa, Permian Basin. But we are looking forward in the fall to producing classics, American classics. In addition, we're looking at Chekhov. Things such as The Death of a Salesman, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, some of the well-known American classics that people may not see but are familiar with. Also, we're looking at maybe Diary of Anne Frank, something kids are studying in school that we can educate and bring to life. We feel that exposing the classics to our population not only adds to the excitement of our growing city. We see Midland as an opportunity not unlike Atlanta or Dallas, Fort Worth, who currently have outdoor Shakespeare in the Park experiences, but it's also important because we can help teachers with extra credit in school, or help them just learn a little bit more about the period and take the fear out of Shakespeare. Shakespeare has this insane cloud about him that makes him scary, but he's not. Actually, Shakespeare is much like how we speak today, and they have the same personal experiences like we have today. So that's why Shakespeare's so important, especially in the park. We offer it for free. So we condense it down, give it to you free, and it's a great family experience. I love Shakespeare because it was an option for me in high school. I could either read Diary of Anne Frank, which is a great book, and I did read it, or I could choose to do a book report on something else, and I chose Macbeth, which was a little advantageous, but I got an A, and that excited me. And in college, I excelled in it. It was my first acting job out of college, was working for a Shakespeare festival, and then it just progressed from there. We encourage our entire community to get involved. We have opportunities for actors and backstage hands. We have opportunities for English teachers to come in and learn how to teach the language better. We encourage people who have never stepped foot on stage to come and try and play with us, because we can actually teach you how to speak Shakespeare like that. And so we want anyone who wants to get involved. If you like to sew, we can use you. If you like to build props, we would love to have you. If you want to learn how to do stage combat, we're your ticket. So we can use anyone in our community who might be interested in participating. Interested in getting involved with Midland Classic Theater Group, you can friend us on Facebook, and it's Midland Classic Theater Group. Or if you need a little more information, you can give us a call at 432-557-3665. And we would love to answer any questions, or if we can, we'd love to see you helping.
Thank you so much, Laura. We look forward to seeing your productions. If you know someone who has an interesting story, and we believe everyone does, email us at basinlife@basinpbs.org. Up next, it wouldn't be an art show without Randy Ham, the Executive Director of Odessa Arts. We'll see what Randy is mixing up next. But first, here's another great quote to live by.
Many topics in the Permian Basin require a deep dive into issues. That's what we do on One Question, a probative weekly news magazine that answers what you want to know from guests who know, complete with background and what we can expect going forward. I'm Becky Ferguson, and I look forward to seeing you every Saturday at 4:30 right here on Basin PBS.
Support your Permian Basin nonprofit communities for a day of giving.
Join us Tuesday, May 18th at 6:30 p.m. on channels 2,
7,
and 9 for the first 30 minutes of the 2021 Permian Basin Gives Telethon.
For the full 2-hour coverage of discussions and entertainment,
Tune in to Basin PBS.
Please join us, your local stations,
Tuesday, May 18th.
Starting at 6:30 p.m.
for the Permian Basin Gives Telethon, supporting the area nonprofits you love.
was dark, it started dawning, and then you'd hear the birds sing. And it's, oh no, I've been up all night. And it was misery, absolute misery.
You know, you wake up in the morning and you're sitting on the curb and you're going, I can't believe I did that.
That's where I came with my first date with the shotgun. I never wanted to be an alcoholic. I never wanted to be a drug addict. It's just what happened.
Basin PBS is closing down Main Street May 6th for Main Street Live, featuring Country Music Hall of Famer Marty Stewart and his fabulous band. General admission tickets are available online at basinpbs.org by calling 432-563-5728 or stop by Basin PBS, located at 203 North Main in Midland. Join us as we honor our frontline workers. You won't want to miss the long-awaited coming out party. Sponsored by S. Javits Anwar, Midland Energy Inc., and underwritten in part by these sponsors.
When you think of the arts, you think of Randy Ham. And Randy is joining us now, the Executive Director of Odessa Arts. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's great to be back in the studio again.
It's great to have you back here. And it's so great. There's arts happening.
Everywhere, yes. It's a spring of performances and exhibits and all kinds of things, and we hope that it just carries into the fall and carries us into 22 and beyond.
Well, we just had something exciting happen, the Shakespeare Festival.
Yes, I was so happy that unfortunately, we had to cancel the 2020 residency of the Texas Shakespeare Festival at the Globe. So we worked with Basin PBS and the Texas Shakespeare Festival and Odessa College, and we brought the road show into the Globe Theater. They rehearsed for 3 days with very strict COVID measures, and then they filmed Hamlet and Much Ado About Nothing, which both aired right here on Basin PBS.
Yay!
And then we made them available to any Region 18 school for classroom use for free.
Fantastic. That is wonderful. I love how things have just evolved and changed, and we've been able to still make it happen.
Right.
Favorite Shakespeare play, if you had to pick one?
Oh, it's the one that has the curse, so I don't think I can say it out loud, but it's Macbeth.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Very good. Well, what are you making for us today? We're so excited. We're learning another cocktail, as many of you know that have watched Basin Life. Randy comes on, we talk about arts, we talk about cocktails, and he teaches us how to make his amazing concoctions here. So what do we have?
Well, answer me this. What do you think is the most ordered cocktail in the world?
The most ordered, I would say martini.
That's
just
what
off
I
the top
would
of
think.
my, that's what I would think.
Yeah, but we're both wrong.
Wrong.
It is actually the old-fashioned, and it is a dark liquor, which I haven't done any of those cocktails, so that's what we're going to do today. And it's actually fairly simple, but again, it's so important to have the right ingredients. You know, you have your whiskey, you have simple syrup, bitters. Don't get maraschino cherries. Get some really good cocktail cherries with a heavy syrup, and then a little bit of orange peel.
Now, does that make a difference to the taste of the drink?
Absolutely.
To have the darker cherries?
Absolutely,
Okay,
and it's got a nice little syrup in there that adds this bittersweet flavor that's just wonderful. And I'm not normally a dark liquor drinker, but this, my friend Christina taught me, and it is delicious.
Shout out, Christina.
Shout out, Christina. Thank you so much for introducing me to this fabulous drink. So it's very simple. It's 2 ounces of your whiskey, right? And this obviously goes into one of these glasses. And it's great if you have craft ice. So you'll notice this is a little ball of ice.
Oh, I love that. That is
right?
nice.
It's a nice little presentation. And then just a little bit of simple syrup.
I thought you said cracked ice. I'm like, all mine seem to look a little cracked, but this is craft ice.
This is actually craft ice.
I love that.
If you want to show off to your guests, instead of using simple syrup, get a sugar cube, and then you actually douse the sugar cube in the bitters. And it's just 2 dashes of bitters. Okay. And then you take that and your craft ice, and you just stir it around a little bit so that it gets nice and cold, right? And the great thing about this ice is that it takes a long time to melt.
Right.
It keeps your glass very, very cold, and your liquor as well. And then, of course, your cocktail cherry. here we go. I'm going to try to do this and not get it on my fabulous jacket.
Which is fabulous. I love that.
I thank you very
much.
much.
And I love the story behind it, too.
Yes, it was made for me by Daniel Escamilla of Project Runway Season 11, so this is the only jacket like this ever.
Well, I think that is so appropriate because you are an original Randy Ham, and we love you, and I think that it fits your personality. So I love it.
I love it. It
was made just for you.
Just for me. And
yes.
I love this, and I love PBS, and I love that you have this fabulous show where we can talk about these things.
Thank you. And speaking of, while you're doing that around the rim, which
yes.
I'm assuming
Orange
just
peel.
makes it taste, you just get a little touch of orange when you take a drink, right?
Yes.
We have so much to talk about with the arts.
Yeah.
We're so excited. What's coming up?
So David Sedaris, who is absolutely one of my favorite authors ever and has been to the Basin twice, once at Odessa College, once at the Wagner. We've had to cancel his appearance twice because of COVID. He's finally coming back here October 28th at 7 o'clock in the brand new Ector Theater.
Yay, big round of applause.
Yes.
That is exciting news. Thank you so
really
much for
is.
sharing that right here. And also, Hot Summer Nights, right around the corner. I mean, summer is almost here.
Summer is almost here, and everybody's anxious to hear live music. We are also moving Hot Summer Nights for this year only into the Ector Theater, and we have some fantastic partnerships, including the first weekend where we have the West Texas Jazz Party performing for the general public. And if you've never been to the jazz party, this is the year to go.
Fantastic. And the fabulous Eric Baker, of course, will be there sharing his gifts.
If there's music, Eric Baker is
there
somehow, right?
Very true.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Really quick summary. Tell us what you did in 2 seconds.
2 ounces of whiskey, simple syrup, bitters, cherry, an orange peel, and you've got yourself a fantastic old-fashioned.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Old-fashioned. Thank you so much, Randy. We appreciate you as always, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Here is another great quote to live by. You're going to like this one. Each week we highlight a young person or group of outstanding young people in the Basin that are making an impact. Today we celebrate the ballerinas of the Midland Festival Ballet.
Hi, my name is Allison Glassman, and I'm a senior company member with Midland Festival Ballet. So I got started when I was 3, and I started with ballet and tap, and then as I got older, I started going into jazz and more hip hop, and then I found my way back to ballet. My preference is ballet. I like the structure that comes within taking class and then going into rehearsal. I think I've always liked to feel elegant, and so I was always drawn to the elegant qualities of ballet. And I like the effervescent quality that comes off with it. And I think that trying to execute all of the steps while being elegant and effervescent is what makes it so fun and challenging. And I think that what keeps me going every day is that knowing that it can always be better and it can always be different and you can always make something else more perfect. Yes, so I joined as an apprentice my 7th grade year, and then I moved up to the junior company, and now I'm a senior company member. So I think as a senior company member, I have taken it kind of on as my responsibility just to help the younger ones if they are confused on some of the steps, or I guess kind of be more of like a demonstrator if Miss Clark asks like someone to show something. Also to reverse something. If she shows one side, then I have to reverse it and do the other side, and then I guess just ultimately be a role model to everyone else. I will be attending Texas Christian University, or TCU, this next fall, and I'll be in the School for Classical and Contemporary Dance as a ballet major. Awesome. So I'm really excited about that. I think beyond all of the steps and all the repertoire that I've learned, I think ballet has ultimately made me be more time efficient, learn how to be independent, I guess it's taught me how to take care of my body. I've been fortunate enough to travel to different places in the summer for summer intensives. So I've gone to Vermont, to Houston Ballet, to Ballet West. And so that has really taught me from a young age how to be responsible, be independent, learn how to, I guess, problem solve on my own, just do things without my parents. And I think ballet has just really made me have a deeper understanding of myself, of my body, of how to think through things. And I think that without it, I wouldn't be the same person as I am today. I think that ballet often has a stereotype of the tall, long, slim, thin girls, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you love to dance, you should go ahead and go for it. and it doesn't matter what you look like, you can dance, and if you love to do it, then you should do it. The structure of ballet has definitely made me be more aware of how I manage my time, the way that I analyze and approach things. It's definitely turned me kind of into a perfectionist, but I think that that has paid off with my schoolwork as well as my dancing. I think the favorite ballet that we've ever done as a company would have to be Giselle. I think the way that the company was able to come together for the show was pretty magnificent, considering that we're all teenagers, and I think that in the end we definitely made it all come together and we gave a beautiful show. My favorite role that I've ever done would have to be the Snow Queen in the Nutcracker. The music combined with the choreography is something that is just very soul-filling to dance, and I've definitely enjoyed it. COVID did definitely have an impact on us in the dance world, just because it is alive and a performing art. And so when we were all confined to our houses, we had to learn how to adapt and how to take dancing from a magnificent and huge stage into just our bedroom. And so I think COVID definitely made everyone analyze and realize how much they truly do love to dance. And I know that I stayed motivated and stayed in shape by doing an online summer intensive through Kansas City Ballet, which really made me fall in love with dance again. And it kept me in shape and kept me going, so.
Oh, they're so talented. If you know someone who deserves to be showcased, please email us at basinlife@basinpbs.org. We'll showcase them in an upcoming Celebrating Kids story. Well, each week on Basin Life, we like to leave you feeling good with some music and talent by local artists. Artists like the beautiful and talented, oh, you're just going to love her voice, Erica Lane. So we're going to close out the show with Erica today. Thanks so much for joining us. You make it a great day.
I dreamed a dream in days gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. The tigers come at night with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear your hope apart, as they turn your dream to shame. He slept a summer by my side. He filled my days with endless wonder. He took my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came.